And welcome to the first ever episode of OK Takes. I am Matt, I'm joined by my co-host Edward, and we are here to bring you real-life conversations you have about sports with strangers, on the couch, at a bar with a couple buddies, but it's in a podcast form. So on the first ever episode, today we are talking some Hawks-Bucks. Trae's ankle twist completely changed the whole game, and then we're going to dive into some Clips-Suns. Pandemic P makes an appearance, and Steve Ballmer is officially my favorite player on the Clippers. And then we're going to end the show, our first ever episode at that, with some Dodgers talk. We were able to knock out a gentleman's sweep against the Cubs, and all the misfortunes from before, poof, gone. All right, it's official. The Hawks are done this series, right?
Yep, it's over. I'm sorry to break it to you Atlanta sports fans, but the series is over. The second Trae Young went down, I was like, okay. Or the second I saw him going to the locker room, I was like, if the Bucks don't put this away, they're never gonna win this series. Like, if they don't just take this and run, then the Hawks are gonna win the series. And but that didn't happen. The Bucks took it and ran. But this series is over. Shout out to Giannis. He's gonna go to the finals, maybe win it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy we're having that conversation now, but it's also crazier how the line was moving with this game. So before last game, Hawks were +8, and then lose by 40, and it could have honestly been 60. It was like 125 to 90, but the starters were taken out with like 10 minutes left in the fourth. So that game could have easily been like 145 to 83. And it shocked me that the line moved back to +5 today for the Hawks, but it doesn't matter. And it really looked like the Hawks were at least going to cover. But it's over. It's over. As soon as Trae Young steps on that ref's ankle, then, like I said, the game's just done. It's done.
Yeah.
The instant that I knew that the Hawks were done this series, and Trae Young specifically was done, was 2 minutes and 6 seconds left. He gets a wide open three in the corner and shoots it immediately as soon as he was wide open. He doesn't wait 3-4 seconds, doesn't do the shimmy, just straight up shoots it. I was like, oh God, this is it. Because without the shimmy, it kind of feels like he was losing confidence and completely taken out of his zone.
Yeah. The shimmy is the key to Trae Young's success. It's proven fact after tonight.
And that was a lot of the storylines about Trae heading into this game, especially was he looked so, and granted played bad game too, but he's so comfortable. Looks like he's been here a million times before, even though it's his first time in the playoffs. He has that Steph Curry in the zone, shoot where he's at, and nope, that's it.
No, series is over. Bucks. I don't want to say Bucks in 5, but it's possible. But I'll say Bucks close this thing out in 6.
The Bucks are going to close this out in 5. I'm very confident about that.
You think so?
Well, I mean,
okay.
It depends.
Yeah, it could happen. It
depends what his ankle's like. But that's the trend.
Yeah.
That's the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this game also, we can't have to mention Chris Middleton putting up 20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he was incredible. If he's going to be playing like that, then it'll definitely only be 5 games. But not just this season, but in many postseasons, we've seen Chris Middleton be 40 points one night, 10 for 15 from 3, and then he'll come back the next game, 16 points, like 3 for 12, shooting off. He's been hit or miss a lot in the postseason in his career. But if he can consistently play like this, the finals is over before it even starts.
All right, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's not dip our toe in that pool just yet. But Chris Middleton is that guy where it's like, wait, what the hell happened to Trae Young? Because Chris Middleton hit like 5 threes in the third quarter, and like, okay, this is it. Yup. This is game, just back to back, and it didn't even matter who was in front of him. That's how it really, even with this game as well, where Trae Young's in that zone where it doesn't matter how many guys are on him. And there is no one who gets lost in coverage like Brook Lopez.
Yep.
That matchup has
Yep.
been and I had Bucks minus 5.5 tonight, so it was pretty painful to watch. But Brooks Lopez, talk about needing a map. He needs navigate. I mean, that's gonna need a constant navigation system on the floor.
He does. He needs a GPS out there.
He needs the Garmin. Get the with how easy it gets lost in pick and rolls, and somehow Trae always finds him.
He needs the map from Dora.
Yeah, exactly.
Sing him a song where to go.
Mm-hmm. Poor Atlanta. That was the only thing left you have to talk about is Giannis at the free throw line.
Yeah, the counting is great.
I love Atlanta Hawks fans, and I love Atlanta fans in general. The fact you're able to take all the beatings and still come back strong, even though you know this playoff's going to end miserably for you. You know that this is going to rip your heart out, but you still show up. Bravo. But
Good
with
for them, yeah.
Giannis at the line, this has officially become it's fair to say a pandemic?
I don't want to go there yet. Let's call it what should we call it?
Epidemic?
No, let's call it a pandemic.
What's
let's call it a pandemic.
I don't even know what the hell I don't even know the difference between pandemic and epidemic at this point.
Epidemic? I don't either.
But Hawks fans going 1, 2, all the way going up to 12. The weird part is that they were in a perfectly synced cadence. Like their games were perfectly in line. But I feel like you're then giving Giannis the opportunity to match it up and actually puts him in a state of bliss and like a state of zen to where he's not hearing the constant rattling. I feel like he's able to sync it up himself with the fans.
Yeah, that's a danger of sticking with the same troll throughout the whole game is he could just lock in and time it perfectly and just knock it down.
And he was bad. He actually was very bad.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more. The free throws are on the hot seat. Free throws really are on the hot seat.
They really are. They really are. God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the players in the league that deserve to be making the most money are the ones that are best at shooting free throws.
A la Chris Paul. And as before we dive into all things Clips Suns, 2 things. Steve Ballmer is my favorite player on the Clippers, and the notes I have for Steve Ballmer are very sweaty, very red. And then I look at myself in the reflection right now. I'm very sweaty and very red. So I think we're destined to be best friends.
I was gonna say, are you secretly Steve Ballmer?
Without the intelligence, without the money, just the really embarrassing parts about Steve Ballmer, I'm probably him.
Just the sweaty and the red.
Very sweaty, very red. My AC's been broken for a month.
Oh.
Awful.
How are you alive?
Barely. Clinging on for hope. Clinging on for dear life right now. But this guy deserves to be on the bench mob because then we pan out to Kawhi and we see him in the suite just chilling with his kid on his lap. And you're like, wait, what? How does this make any sense? The owner's supposed to be chilling with his kids on his lap in the suites, and then the player's supposed to be down on there going crazy with the bench mob.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Ballmer has always been that hype man, you know? Like, he always, gets amped after, anything happens that the Clippers do. So he should definitely be sitting on the bench with the guys. Imagine him hyping up, I don't know, who's a scrub on the Clippers? Imagine him and that. They start hitting the Brooklyn Nets dance.
Yeah, from a couple years ago with
on
D-Lo.
the bench. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to actually talk about the game, not just the shenanigans off of it. But that was the most boring slugfest I've seen in my life. So,
so bad.
Fourth quarter starts. It is 69-66 Suns. At 6 minutes and 23 seconds, it's 73-70 Suns. 6 minutes, 70.
Yeah.
Unbelievably boring.
I used to love the old game, the old Lakers Celtics finals where it was good defense. You know, the final score was there was games where the final score would be 84-78, but it was good difference. Mm-hmm. This was just bad offense.
Completely.
This was just not fun to watch.
And
a good defensive game in the NBA, I love. It's so fun to watch. Mm-hmm. But when it's just bad offense, it's just like, oh, put these guys out of their misery.
Yeah. And the mayor of bad offense, the mayor of Brickville, somebody you might know by the name of Pandemic P.
Pandemic P, baby, he's back.
He's back in full force, man. All right. Are you ready for some sabermetrics? Some good analytics?
Bring it on.
Okay.
Bring it on. Let's hear it.
9 minutes and 6 seconds in the fourth quarter, Paul George misses a 27-foot three. 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the fourth quarter, Paul George misses a 7-foot two-point shot. 7 minutes and 8 seconds in the fourth quarter, Paul George misses a 16-foot two-point shot. 5 minutes and 26 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Paul George misses a 19-foot two-point shot. 2 minutes and 55 seconds, Paul George misses a running pull-up jump shot. It only got worse. It only got worse because he started getting hacked, and then I know he made a couple, and I really think he makes all his free throws. The Suns still win that game. I really think that's how it goes, because it was just going to be who's better at free throws and who's going to make them. And I know Chris Paul and Devin Booker would, even though I know Devin Booker fouled out.
I was going to say, at what point in the game did he foul out? I can't remember.
It was a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Out. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like...
they probably still would have won.
Yeah, because at that point, it's free throws versus free throws.
Yeah.
This is how it went.
Which, I mean, yeah, the NBA has a big problem on their hands with free throws, but I don't want to get into all of that. I do want to say, though, in terms of Paul George, I've always looked at him as the most overrated player in the NBA. I kind of have been in the minority when I say that to a lot of people that I talk to. But the great Ramona Shelburne, writer for ESPN, said on ESPN LA, she said what I've thought for the last few years was like, why do we treat Paul George as a superstar when he's clearly not? Mm-hmm. Like, if we pump the brakes on our expectations of Paul George, we literally cannot be disappointed, because, you know, our expectations were like, okay, put up 20, shoot well from the field, and we'll call that a good game. That's what our expectations should be. But our expectations for Paul George are like Kawhi numbers, like LeBron numbers. They shouldn't be like that. So I was like, she was able to articulate what I've thought for the last few years, and obviously she was able to say it to a broader group of people.
But it's frustrating.
Maybe they'll listen.
Yeah, but I mean, it is frustrating, the series, though, because, and especially the playoffs, playoff P has been like playoff P. Let's be honest, like he's been putting up an average of like 28 points and like 6-7 rebounds. So he's been putting up like playoff P numbers. But what happens in a game, a pivotal game, where things could really switch sides and things could really go in different directions? And that's 2-1, had a great win the game before. Now it's like, okay, are we back in this? Like, do we tie it up like against the Jazz, like against the Mavs? Nope, goes a completely different direction now. And this was a game you should have won. The Clippers should have won this game.
Yeah, very much they could have won that game.
The true, like, Mr. Buckets, like Devin Booker on the other side of the court, he's getting shut down by Pat Bev all game long, especially in the fourth quarter. Nobody was scoring. And when you have, nobody was scoring, like I said before, but you have that opportunity right there. It's on a silver platter with Pat Bev going crazy on Devin Booker. And I have to mention these stats because he's been going ballistic. So when Devin Booker is guarded by Pat Bev in this series, he's 4 for 15 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. When Devin Booker is guarded by literally anybody else, he's 19 for 41, 5 for 15 from 3.
Wow.
You can't waste the defensive performance like that. You can't.
No.
You can't.
You can't.
Devin Booker wasn't great, and I don't know how many times he's not going to be great. Chris Paul, awful. Chris Paul, the midi gone. Mids.
He missed so many middies that could have put the game away. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there has to be a lid on the rim. Like, there has to be. How is he missing these?
His midi was mids.
It was. His midi was mid. It really was.
Mm-hmm. Just big Reggie Jackson. A lot of Reggie Jackson from Chris Paul's mid-range game.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to dive into some Dodgers talk. So if you were to ask us, or if you were to look at us Thursday evening, it would have been pretty ugly, pretty bad. But now we're on top of the world.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
To quote Larry David.
Yeah.
Right now it is.
Right now it is. And it's what happens when you get swept by your rival. And let's be honest, at the moment, Padres are more of a rival than the Giants. So when you get swept by that, and when you have all this hoopla going on, just a bunch of drama, it's going to make the losses feel way worse. Way worse.
Yep.
And then you get no hit after getting swept by a
rival. No, that was a 3-game series.
True.
That no-hitter didn't happen. What are you talking about? That was a 3-game series against the Cubs. We swept them.
Okay.
That first game doesn't count.
Sure.
It does count, but it doesn't count in my mind.
Either way, it and you know it's it took like 4 pitchers, so yeah, it doesn't count. And the Dodgers had 8 walks.
Yeah. No, I mean it was. I do have to say it was an incredible way to come back and win 3 in a row after getting no hit is a great response. I mean, only the good teams do that. You know, I'm pretty sure I was listening to Bellinger's post-game interview, and he said something like that. He was like, you know, the good teams are the ones that come back after a setback like that. So it was nice to see. It was nice to see his bat get going. 2 games in a row with a home run. It's pretty nice.
The Belly walk-off bomb. That was, I said it yesterday, just hanging with the dudes, but I said that was a top 5 move of the year for me. I think that was top 3 because the reason why it feels like it's top 3 now is like, holy shit, is this a pivotal point in the season? Is this a time where we go on a run and really strong heading up to the All-Star break? And now we look back and we're like, wait, we're a game back from first? It feels like
if we come out and win these next 2 against the Giants, we're a game and a half out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you could be right.
And then,
you could be right on.
Because I mean, All-Star game's still a couple 2-3 weeks away, so that's a point though where like yesterday was a point where if we lose this, I do not know what happens this season, because especially if you look at what the circumstances were in that game, this was something that we would have lost very easily. We don't have any walk-off wins. We have 1 win in extra innings. We have lost, like, we're like 2 for 13 in 1-run games. We have been awful when it comes to the clutch gene. We have no clutch gene, does not exist in our DNA. And then it shows that, hey, this is a comeback team.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that 3-run home run by Lux against the Mariners was going to be the turning point in the season. You know, where he threw his bat and he was like, let's fucking go, and he pounded his chest. And it kind of was. I mean, I looked a few days ago just because I wanted to see what their record had been since that game, and it was like 22-14 or 22-13. And I was like, okay, yeah, that was a pretty big turning point. But that Bellinger walk-off in today's win with Kershaw dominating, I think, 13 Ks in 8 innings.
Yep.
Now going into a series against the team ahead of us, 3.5 ahead of us, if we can win both of those games, that could really take us one step. Like, we're back, but like this could bring us to the point where like we go on not a 43-9 streak like they did in 2017, but we could see something similar to that.
Yeah. Ending the series on this note today was what the doctor prescribed. Because you have Kershaw being absolutely dominant, and then second inning, you have the big grand slam from Belly, the Belly slam, and then... Was
it Belly or was it Zach who hit the slam?
Excuse me, McKinstry. Yeah, you're right. McKinstry had the grand slam. And then you also have a Belly home run today, a 2-run shot, so 6 runs in the same inning. And it just felt like all the anxiety, all the pent-up rage, all the feelings that we should fire Roberts, gone. And I tweeted it like, because I was seeing it constantly, fire Roberts, fire Roberts.
I mean, we see that every year is the best part.
It really felt like people were ready to jump off the Empire State Building. It really felt that way. And now, it's like, look, just give the offense some time. Roberts can't, I don't hate the lineups he's been putting up. There hasn't been anything truly fundamentally wrong. Might want to tweak some things here and there, but you just have to wait. And that's what Belly proved, is that Roberts is not the problem here. The offense not putting up runs. The offense getting nearly no hit by or I don't know if it was close, but pretty close to getting no hit by Darvish. Not doing anything against Blake Snell. That's the problem, not Roberts.
It hasn't been Roberts this season at all. It's been the players underperforming. Like we had that one stretch where the pitchers couldn't get 3 outs without giving up 3 runs. We had a stretch where the bullpen was almost blowing a 14-1 run lead against the Angels. We had offense can't even put up more than 2 runs. Like, Dave Roberts has put the right guys in the right positions to win games.
Yeah.
He just has. Like, he just has. They just weren't doing it for a certain amount of time, and now it seems like they're heading in that direction.
Yeah. So we're on a awesome. I mean, we're really ending on a great note. I'm so happy you didn't do our first episode Thursday, because it would have been completely different. It would have been down in the dumps.
It would have been. It wouldn't have been a quality first episode. We would have just been like, oh, we got swept by the Padres and then no hit. Like, oh, what, the Dodgers are gonna fire everyone, trade everyone. They're not gonna make the But now it's like, yeah, we're winning the division, winning the World Series. Manager of the Year, Dave Roberts. Bellinger's back.
The energy would have been on the level of Kawhi, and today was Steve Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer, absolutely.
Steve Ballmer energy today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so that is the end. So we have reached the end of the first ever episode of OK Takes. So once again, I am your host, Matt. You can follow myself on social media on Instagram and Twitter at MattWeiner20. You can then follow Edward on his social media on Instagram and Twitter at Edward_Vento to keep up with everything, movies, maybe a little bit of Edward reviews action. Check out
maybe some soccer if you're a soccer fan.
Oh, shout out Czech Republic!
Shout out Czech Republic! My goodness, what a win!
I had the money line. I picked them a live bet money line.
Did you actually?
Yeah. Big,
oh wow,
plus
that's
450.
Awesome.
I was very happy.
My pick to win the tournament got eliminated today. What the hell happened, Portugal? You have so much talent, and you still have Ronaldo, and you lost. What? Damn. But go Italy! Forza Italy!
Yeah. All right. So go Italy. Fuck Portugal. Go Czech Republic.
Yeah. And go Czech. Yeah. Yep.
Look, we're avoiding the big thing. Follow OK Takes. So follow OK Takes Pod on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok at OKAY Takes Pod. Very simple. Just one click. Boom. Get all the updates. Get hit with all the episodes, and we'll even throw in some highlight action here and there. We'll spruce it up for you guys. We'll spruce it up, but super easy. Just do it. Help us tremendously. All right, so that'll be it. This is official. This is the first ever episode of OK Takes. Thanks, guys.